everyone's working from home, doing school from home, and that like just the network's not built for everyone to stream, and we all are.
So true, man. And Cleveland Terry's a great streamer for those of you guys who don't know. Well, great just DJ in general. Okay, we may be back.
Yep, we're back.
Ooh.
We're back. Sorry about that, guys. You know how this stuff goes.
Ask your question again too.
Ooh, it's a long one. It was about hitting point or hitting post, and I wanted to ask Barty, does he have any tips for doing that, and how did you maybe learn besides practice? How did you learn to kind of hit point or hit post?
Yeah, I mean, I think the biggest way to do it, it's it is practice, but more than that, just knowing your library of songs.
Mm-hmm.
And if you know your songs inside and out, you know how they all go, and you know that in the middle of the song there'll be a little instrumental break, and you can talk, and you can even ask a question, and when you know how verse 2 starts, it's going to be an answer to the question you just asked. And I'm not thinking of a good example now, but just like DJ Casey in the battles is doing wordplay, you can insert your own wordplay.
Yeah.
And just to drop a compliment, whenever I'd see like DJ Casey on a Court Street bar, I might just pop in because I'm like, oh, I'll just do one shot and on my way to somewhere else. And then I'd always end up staying a lot longer than I intended. And I could tell that you were not just a pre-planned playlist where it's like, this is what I'm going to do. It was like you were conducting the party.
Oh man.
Like a good DJ does.
I literally, they'll be like, what are you playing next? I don't know. I'll let you know at the end of the song. Nothing at all is planned. I decide what song I'm going to play halfway through the previous song. I cannot plan it because it'll always change. Or I'll be like, this is going to throw them off. Oh, this I need to play,
I think it is nice to have those jarring changes because it lets people know that you are controlling the crowd. If you have these dope ass blends the whole time, I'm picturing a techno or a house DJ, and you have these smooth blends the whole time. It almost just sounds monotonous. It almost is that moment where the DJ, JB loves to do this, right? He hits the filter and cuts everything out. What's everybody do? And then you drop it back on the one, and then everyone's like, oh, okay, cool, we're vibing again. So I think that's a cool thing that you brought up, Casey.
Yo, shout out B-Funk in the building.
Oh, there he is. We knew he was gonna be here. Shout out Rob DePaulo as well. And oh yeah, thank you. See, James. We just need Barty to decide every show.
We're gonna get demonetized now. This air horn.
Right.
Just kidding.
No. I wanted to ask this question specific for when B-Funk got here, but you guys do a show called Bangers. It's a streaming thing that you guys do. I think it's every other week. You guys kind of flip which channel it's on Twitch. I think B-Funk even has one this Friday. No, it's Trust Me this Friday. So free plug for B-Funk. But what is a banger? I want to hear everyone's definition. What's a banger? Because it's being thrown around a lot lately. Everyone says, oh, this is a banger, this is a banger, this is a banger, this is a banger. What truly is a banger? And since you are the expert, Barty, I want to hear from you first, and I'm sure B-Funk will show up in the chat with us.
Yeah, I like to take a wide definition of banger, and it's one of those things where it's it when you hear it, but it could be anything. It could be an old song, a new song, a slow song, but just because B-Funk likes to highlight the emotional bangers, some old, 80s Phil Collins thing, and it could be pretty much just any song where right away it grabs you from the start and you know what it is, and you're like, that's a banger.
That's a banger. James?
I think for me, the word banger, it's got to be something that's catchy but also nostalgic. I don't want to say that everything nostalgic and catchy is a banger though. A banger has to be a small group of songs to me. But I mean, I used to use the word banger all the time when every other EDM big room track came out. I'd be like, oh, it's a banger. But now it's now it's just kind of, I really like old school tracks that I hadn't heard in a while. And I'll be like, oh, that was a banger. So, yeah, nostalgic is the word I'd use.
Rob D says a banger equals makes me want to dance. So the very broad definition, probably even more broad than yours, Barty. KC, what are you saying? What is a banger?
I literally couldn't have said it any better than they did. But at the same time, I think a banger would be the most happening song right now. And when it comes to old songs, the songs that will always like it'll never slow down. Like Get Low or Yeah by Usher. Those are always gonna be there.
Right.
Those will be playing for like my kids. I did a one of the homecomings I did this year. Like I played it and they reacted just the way I did when it came out. You know what I mean? Yeah, I couldn't have said it any better than you guys did.
Cool.
All right,
Yeah.
B-Funk.
Yeah, what's
Bangers are in the eyes of the beholder. There's no wrong answers, just sometimes bad timing or context.
That's fair.
Rob, I don't dance. Oh.
I've seen Rob dance. Maybe. I gotta go with is everybody knows it, and I'm not talking about like okay, everybody in the house scene. I'm talking like everybody has to know it, and it's got to get your hands up. Like so, everybody knows XYZ Ariana Grande record, but it's probably not gonna get your hands up. Most of them. But like when it comes to like an Avicii levels. Everybody knows it, and it's gonna get your hands up. Like to me, that's what a banger is. But I feel like I have a way more strict definition, and B-Funk's gonna get upset with me for it. But that's all right.
Well, I have one exception to yours that I think you'll agree with, and
Yeah,
that's you say you have to know it, but there's certain songs that the first time you hear them, they're a banger. Like when me and B-Funk were doing our bangers night, someone requested WAP, and that was the first time we heard it. We're like, okay, looking at like the artist involved, we're like, yeah, new Megan Thee Stallion, let's play it. And that one, the first time we heard it, that was a banger. I guess it has familiar elements that it samples, so it's instantly nostalgic, but it was a banger from the first listen.
Yeah, you're right. That is something I have to factor in. So it's maybe not something everyone knows, but everyone gets hyped. It very encompassing. So most people enjoy it, like even off the rip. It's a good point, Barty, because I got to take that timestamp out of it.
I just looked up the Wikipedia definition.
Ooh,
it
perfect.
says a banger is a song, party, or album created by Corrupt or Eric Pritz.
Damn. All
That's
pretty
pretty good. That's pretty
funny.
spot on right there.
That's pretty funny.
I don't make the rules.
Bravo, bro. Show you know what? For that, I'll let you do show and tell, James. I'll let you.
All right,
do show
bro.
and tell.
All right,
That's pretty
guys.
funny.
But yeah, B-Funk also said everybody should know it is a good definition. Oh wait, what am I talking about? I don't know. I'm lost. All right, so show and tell, guys. We do this every episode. It's pretty unique and cool. We've had everything you can imagine shared. But yeah, so anything that's DJ related, non-DJ related, that means something to you. Let's start with, we started with Barticus on the bios. Let's start with Casey.
So I forgot mine in my car.
All right.
But it was that
Can you
iPod.
draw it on paper?
Yeah.
It was that iPod. Okay, that
Yeah,
iPod's my baby. I'm telling you, and I don't know.
All right, can we look? Can we Google this? And is it the big bulky one that was like
big,
white?
bulky silver classic with the big dial.
Oh
Man,
man,
it's still going, huh?
It goes. Yes, it is.
Is it the one?
100
Go ahead.
It's
Go ahead.
160 gigs, and people are like, "Why do you still have this?" I'm like, you know what? Some of this, shit on this iPod, you can't get from Spotify, you can't get from Apple Music, and I have my stuff on there. My phone storage is full. I'm keeping this forever. I can fit 40,000 songs on it.
Dang.
It's gonna live with me.
It reminds me of it wasn't I Am Legend. What was the other one?
No, it's the Book of Eli. I was just thinking that.
Yeah, dude.
He's got that one button on it that just says play.
Yup, and he
He's
has
like,
to find a way to charge it. Oh
Yep,
man, I felt that.
Dude,
That's
yeah,
my
I was just
baby.
thinking that.
And that's where I started DJing. Like I said, I had that next to me. That's how I was previewing songs when I very first started. Before that, I was playing music from that iPod, either at parties or at practices. That thing's lived with me in my whole music and dance career.
Crump, should we make her go get it?
Who's meeting me in Cleveland?
Oh, yeah, I got you.
That's
I thought like your car like outside. Never mind.
Oh no, I would have went and got.
Gotcha. All right.
No, I dropped my car off downtown. For the weekend.
I'm surprised it works still, honestly, though. That's impressive.
Props to Apple.
Yeah. All right, Barticus, what you got?
Okay, I thought of a technical nerdy thing and a fun thing. So I'll show you the technical nerdy thing, and that is trying to get it in the camera. There's this like 2 or 3 inch piece of metal that extends my microphone, and Shure makes it. They make the SM7 microphone also,
Yes.
and that makes it so this part doesn't bump against your boom arm, and you can rotate the mic freely all the way around without wearing it. And this thing only cost like $6-7, and it just makes the mic work on the stand. And I watch for every one on the internet using this and see if they have it, and most don't. And it's just made for this microphone because the XLR bumps out. So I highly recommend this like little extension for your boom arm if you have this mic.
You can check out the link to Barty's Amazon affiliate link in his bio. No, I'm kidding.
So
I think
before,
it is on there, yeah.
Yeah, I got you, bro.
Before we went live, we were just talking about how Mike wasn't going to buy anything else for his studio. And here you are showing him something that he needs for his microphone stand.
I'm good, man. I think I'm all right.
Right.
That's we got some kind of thing going on here. I don't have the nice mic yet. I'm working on it.
All right, here we go. This is looks like
this is
here
the
he
fun
is.
thing. This is my portable Sony 8-track player that I've been rocking, and so I can just punch in the tape. I won't play it for your. I won't demonetize you.
My boy.
You just throw your Steely Dan 8-track in there, and it automatically plays. It rocks.
Dude,
how much is that worth? That's got to be worth something. That's got to be.
I'm not sure. I mean, you can find this sort of thing at estate sales if you're patient enough. You could probably find someone refurbishing it on the internet for $50-$60 if you're patient enough. Like they're not that expensive.
Okay.
And,
they will be.
I got in the stupid habit of collecting 8-tracks. I don't recommend it, but that's how I spent like the last year.
We got to bring them back immediately.
It's like everyone, all the hipsters went to vinyl, and Barty is like, I gotta get away from vinyl. What can I do next? Nah, I'm just kidding. You probably doing the 8-track
something
thing
more
before.
obsolete.
Yeah.
That's cool though, man. That's our first. That's the oldest and first 8-track thing that we've seen so far. So
that is verifiable.
Usually it's like we've seen some old school mixers, I think, but that's a new one.
Love it.
Guys, I can't talk about Athens without mentioning Halloween at OU. I ask this to every DJ that comes out of Athens or OU, just talk about what it means to you. I know both of you have played, if not at the big one, then around it, and then all the different parties. So just if you want to share like an awesome moment or just why it's special to you, that'd be great. Casey, start us off.
Well, I'm going to mention a funny memory first. I remember my freshman year. This was like right when I started DJing. I remember seeing the stage and seeing how crazy it was. I was like, damn, I want to be up there. This is meanwhile, I'm passing this cage where when people got in trouble, the cops would put them in a cage.
Oh, wow.
for everybody to look at. It was funny. But for me, what I love most about Halloween is it's like fest season. I start in the morning, I do this Halloween party, pack up, reset up at another house party, and it's like all day until, night. And then I got to set up at a bar. So it's like an all day worth of, DJing parties. And like, for me, that was fun. I'm always on the move. I'm always getting a different crowd and, everyone's ready to party every single time. So like, it's just a blast all day long and all night long.
And people are like, does it get tiring? And it's like, no, the music that energy keep coming.
Like you might get tired in the transition, but then you start up and people start coming and you're like, oh yes, like I'm energized again.
Now, would you drink on a day like that? Like, can you actually go the whole day and actually, that's wild.
Yeah, bro, that's what they are known for down there.
I know, man, but I'm beyond those days. Looking back, I don't know how I did it.
And I've invited you down a couple times.
Yeah. I've partied at OU before, but never for Halloween or
me either.
Call it. Yeah.
What would you say the people in cages is the craziest thing you've seen, or what is the craziest Halloween?
I don't know if we can get into all that, man.
I want to know from him as well.
Sponsors.
Marcus, I don't know if this was Halloween or fest season or if it was opening weekend, but there's a gig last year we did. I think it was for the Snowcats or something. They climbed a telephone pole, and once they got to the top, they got electrocuted.
Okay,
damn,
that'll do it.
He lived. He was good. The next week, he showed up at one of my gigs on crutches.
Can't stop the party.
It's okay. And everyone's like, ah!
I think I saw that video. that video was being shared a lot. I remember.
Yeah, that's probably the craziest thing I've seen at OU.
And there was that video of that guy who was running from like rooftop to rooftop away from the police.
I've seen that too. That was like 3 years ago.
That's smart.
Right uptown.
This is why I asked this question, man. It's never dull. I hear something new every time.
They started on Steven's roof and they were walking on a beam across the top of Steven's and they jumped to another roof.
Spartacus, anything you want to add to that? More memories, more times you've DJ'd or what?
I think I only actually got to play the outdoor thing one time, and B Funk is the big organizer behind that,
Oh
and it's
yeah.
always just so fun because you have as much as I don't like preparing a set, when you have something like that where it's less than an hour, maybe like 40 minutes or so, and it's just you have to just get like every one of your songs picked out in advance, and just everyone is just so ready to go. Like big stage, full professional lights, big guardrail and security, and it's just a crazy time, and everyone really puts the effort into their concert. And even though it's crazy after dark, when the sun is still out, there's a nice family friendly side to it where there's a big like puppet parade going down Court Street, and everyone does these like handmade life size puppets, and just some really cool stuff is happening. And then it gets pretty crazy at nighttime.
I imagine, man.
B-Funk said he touched the goddamn power lines. I thought I watched a person die. Oh man. I can't imagine what he's seen. That could take up a whole episode of just his Halloween memories
Oh yeah, because he's
by
negotiating
B-Funk.
with all the parties in charge of everything, and people trying to pull the plug on him, and he's like,
And he might be the one
everything.
sober person there, like throughout all the
Yeah.
chaos is B Funk. You guys are, I've told him to monetize that set list multiple times. You could probably make, thousands just selling out those set lists. It's just such an iconic party, but B Funk's a better dude than I am. So, what else do I want to ask about? James, you got any questions for these guys?
I was literally, my next question was about Halloween. What about like just what do you guys think of how Numberfest ran its life?
Ooh, great question.
Like you guys obviously Numberfest blew up because of how big of a party school Athens was. Whether you were a part of Numberfest or not, like did people really get excited about it, or was it more just like, I don't know, talk about it.
You can go first, Marcus.
Okay.
Behind the music, Numberfest.
I am kind of like a Numberfest outsider. I've seen kind of the town, but I was never really super into it. And I don't know. I guess just to be real, it seems like it first reached massive success because you could drink underage there, and then they started getting more legitimate and cracking down on that, and that kind of killed the crowd. That with touring festival acts are just getting more and more expensive, and they used to be able to get like a really good deal if you were like up on an artist and you could book them 6 to 9 months in advance before they got super popular. They could bring Kendrick Lamar to a field, but you can't really get a great deal on these artists anymore because everyone kind of instantly knows their value. I don't know if they know all their I don't even know the right word. Just like this, computer machine learning, search engine optimization. Like everyone just has all the data, and they know exactly how many people listen to them on Spotify and where they're located and how many dollars that can translate to. So it's just hard to make good bookings at festivals. I think it's much harder.
There's definitely something to the old lineups that used to be created. And once those names blow up, it's just really hard to duplicate that. And people that were Numberfest regulars or, breakaway or whatever it might be, see that, and then they compare it to the last year's lineup and they don't understand, how it works. And then, I think I agree that the BYOB, once that kind of went away, it lost some people, but they still saw a lot of great success afterwards as well. What do you think, Mike or Casey?
I don't really have a big Numberfest history either. My freshman year I went. That's when Diplo was playing, and the only reason I went is because I wanted to hear Revolution live. Literally it. And it was the day after my birthday. So I was hungover. I got there, heard Revolution, left, and I never went back. I think like the next year I made like a shit ton of money on driving people, but it was just so far away, and the bus will only bring you so far, and I don't know why. I just never went. I did all the Numberfest after parties, like at different bars, but I never really went to have a big opinion of it. I like the Throwback Thursday concerts more, I think.
What are those?
So Athens does these Throwback Thursday concerts. One year they had Shaggy. One year they had the Ying Yang Twins. Last year was, I think, Jesse McCartney. Barticus, I know you probably would know way more. I mean, you've been there longer. I don't know if you have anything to
I
say
mean,
about it.
I know a little. I did see the Yin Yang Twins, and that was really fun. They're just playing outside on South Green. The
South
college is
Green.
there. I think A-Rock, I think, was the warm up DJ for that one, and
Oh,
Nice. Shout
he
out
it was
was.
it
A-Rock.
was really fun. Yeah.
I heard they like showed up like 3 hours late or something.
Yeah, I think before Aaron Carter was there, and one that I'm really mad at
Yeah.
missing is in that same area, but not on the volleyball courts and the basketball courts. They had Clips play like right around the Hell Hath No
Oh, that'd be
Fury
cool.
album. It was just like, and I had no idea they were just playing a free outdoor OU funded concert.
Oh, T-Pain was there one year. It's always during Sibs weekend when your siblings get to come. T-Pain came one year, and that was a great concert. He had so much energy. He danced the whole time.
T-Pain's awesome in live for sure.
Yeah.
And he like everyone hated on him for the auto tune thing, but like I think just like now in the past 5 years, people start to respect T-Pain. Didn't he like win that Masked Singer show or something like that, or he was on it? And then yeah, any I feel like Reddit, there was like always some post that got upvoted that was like, oh my god, T-Pain can really sing, and whatever, people figured it out.
Yeah.
Oh.
So Barty, because you've been talking about the algorithm's kind of been this like looming thing that's kind of been hanging out throughout this episode of the podcast. I just want to talk about it. We've been talking about it a lot. I switched over my Twitch, even though we're screaming on Twitch today. My Twitch is now more gaming focused, and I'm all my YouTube stuff's music and figuring out branding and stuff like that. And one of the reasons I did that was because I didn't want the algorithm to be confused. I still want, if someone searches DJ tips, I still want them to see DJ access and not necessarily like squadrons or Warzone tips or whatever it is. So what, in your research of this past year and how the algorithm works on all these social media websites, what have you found? Has anything been really helpful?
I mean, I think one of the things you were bringing up in the notes is just how you have to be different on each platform, and and I'm constantly having to learn a new thing. Like I was doing a lot of stuff on Instagram and messing around with some DJ and just conversations with people on Instagram Live, and there's a different energy and thing that works on Instagram, and then I'm discovering TikTok, like what's going to work on TikTok, and a new one that I think is good for all you DJs to try is Reddit has a live feature, Reddit Sessions.
Really?
And yeah, and I've sometimes go on there, and you can they have a version of OBS that's custom for it, like a tall phone, and you can a lot of my Twitch people have come from the Reddit Sessions, like because Reddit people know how to use Twitch. So
yeah,
I'm just still trying to put together the puzzle of being on 5 different social media sites, and it seems like the point of each social media site is to say, go follow me on this other social media site, just because you never really know when they're going to tweak that algorithm, and something you do that was really successful is already all of a sudden going to not be successful. So you need to have ownership. I guess a final thought is it's really important to have direct contacts with your audience, whether it's an email list or a Discord or something where you are in control and not at the mercy of the algorithms.
Yes, loving every day. I found some new reason to love Discord. It's awesome. But hey, James, you've been doing stuff with the algorithms with your SoundCloud and Spotify, and when you're releasing music, what have you found that's been helpful? Just in how you approach it.
Well, we talked. I'm trying to remember what episode we were talking about. I think it was with Bach Oven, and we were talking about the Spotify and just preparing a music release and finding out what playlists are adding, up and coming artists, and what playlists are getting added to major label promotions. So with Spotify, it is all about what playlist you can get on to get that organic reach. Otherwise, it's just all so manual, and there's not much you can do. You can't really even throw money at Spotify to get real organic promotions, I don't think, unless you're like real money, like radio money. But and then as far as SoundCloud and stuff, there's definitely playlists on SoundCloud that you need to target. Not everyone is using SoundCloud now. It's still the largest, but it's not everyone's. There's just so many different ones now.
Yeah.
And you need to utilize all of them. And then it's also just about with your social media platforms. Like for me, Facebook and Instagram are my biggest. And so I need to, if SoundCloud's not going to behave with with the promotion that I'm trying to do, then I need to only focus on my Spotify or vice versa. So there's a lot of pre-planning that goes into it for me. And the algorithms are constantly changing. I actually talked to people that aren't even in our industry about the way they promote their small businesses and the way they dissect their targeted promotion and ads that they run. And it's constantly changing, especially for our industry with how sensitive everything is with what they allow with music. And so you just gotta do the research and just do your best when you attack that kind of stuff.
What do you think, Casey?
I see. I don't do a lot of the streaming, or I mean, I put some things on SoundCloud, but like I said, it's hard for me to make actual mixes because I don't know what I don't know the technological side, but I know that like with my vinyl, it doesn't let me record, and I don't know if it's like my mixer isn't enabling it. I don't know how to explain. So I don't have a big input in that area.
Was there ever a time where you were like trying to like say build like your Instagram or anything like that?
I talked to DJ EV about this, and he called me, goes, "You need to get your Instagram up. You want to do this, 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 you have to get your Instagram up, keep posting, like daily, or if not every other day." But then, I mean, I was also in college at this point, so school kind of took over for me, and I just graduated in May, so I mean, I guess it's whatever direction
Congratulations.
I try to go in. Thank you.
Mhm.
And I just got a new job. So, I mean, if I want to continue to, build that DJ career, then I do need to, I would say, I mean, promoting on social media is definitely the biggest thing because people aren't going to come if you're not, don't have X amount of followers and have this kind of promotions going on your social media. So, yeah, I mean,
EV definitely knows what he's talking about too. So
He
yeah,
does.
that's definitely something I need to do better on. That's where I lack.
You know me, I'm just gonna talk about consistency. Like, I think make sure that you're using the hashtags that are that work with your brand. If you don't know what, like, say the top 3 hashtags that work with your brand are, there's step 1. You can figure out that, and now every post you can target 3 hashtags that are doing it. Make sure the content gets to where it needs to be, and really, I think it's all about putting out solid content. Because people will see it. If you're putting out solid content, I'd rather focus on making the content good to where people want to like, people want to share, people want to interact, rather than trying to game the system. Because like Barty and everyone, all of us said, like the algorithm can change. Another thing is build your audience outside of reliance on a social media platform. There's rumors that Instagram's dying, this, that, and the other. For people who are doing well on Instagram, sure, they can bring that audience somewhere else. But if they just had an email list of all those people somehow, now they can, advertise to them directly. So MailChimp doesn't sponsor the show, but they should, because we talk about it all the time. But
you love it. Yeah,
I do, man. I just think it's essential because we're, Instagram could die. People who built an audience on Vine had to start over, and just maybe it's a text message, maybe it's just find a way to be able to communicate directly with your audience, to go around these algorithms. But
it's not hard to build an email list either if you really put in the work, and then it's just another tool. It doesn't have to be the tool, but it is definitely a way. With everything going on with social media, things can get overlooked if you release a song at the wrong time, the wrong day. Your email list can help you out. It's just I agree with you. It's not going to go away.
Right.
What do you guys think about like the way are you spending more or less time on social media, let's say in the last 6 months? And do you think like what's being fed to you has gotten better or worse on the different social media platforms?
I've personally have taken a step back. I needed it. It was go. Pandemic kind of like gave me the opportunity to step away from it a little bit. Not saying that obviously I'm still very active with branding and promotions and stuff, but definitely my feed, I definitely tried to like filter it this year, like unfollow pages that I didn't need to unfollow, and really like make sure the stories that I'm following or the posts that I'm seeing are inspiring, motivating, relevant, whatever it might be. And that's the main thing I did with my social media, because to answer your second question, I think that some of it's just the same thing over and over. I'm not I think it's important to do for branding purposes, but you know, it's if all you're focused on is clout, you're gonna have a bad time. You need to put out music. You need to put out videos of you working. You need to show that you're DJing in places. You need to make people want to book you, and not only clout is that gonna do that for you.
Right.
Thanks, James.
That's just my opinion.
Yeah, of course, man. Love that. Love hearing it. Barty, we'll go to you next, man. Spending more or less time on social media, and what was the second part of it? Is the algorithm working for you? Are you being fed stuff that you like, or has it digressed?
Unfortunately, I might be spending more time on it. I'm not really happy about it, and I finally like the TikTok algorithm is really good if you spend enough time with it. It knows pretty much exactly what you want to see. Like I've discovered some songs off of there. And like, so I like it for that, but then sometimes you just want to put a limit on it. You're like, okay, I don't, because there's no end to it. It just goes forever. And some of the things are so specific to your interest. Like, I exclusively wear jumpsuits, and there's like a lot more people that are wearing jumpsuits that are showing up, and they have like, 30 likes on their videos. So not that popular, but anytime someone is just like, it doesn't matter what they are. If they're like, I'm a woodworker, but I also wear jumpsuits, I just get fed a lot of that content. So it's kind of working. And I agree with what Corrupt was saying about you should garden your feed, or there's no reason to follow someone because you go back or anything. Like I unfollow so many people on Facebook and like block them, and it's like social media to me is for my entertainment. And so if there's something that doesn't make me feel good, I don't need to see it. I don't think anyone is going to change anyone's mind on social media. Like real conversations with people in real life have a much bigger impact, and it is good to reach out to people in these times when you can't actually gather as much. So I've been using it more just to messaging people and stuff like that has been pretty good.
Good point.
Casey?
I kind of feel the same way. I mean, like I could order something off of Amazon and boom, it'll pop up on Instagram or Facebook.
It's crazy.
Since Corona, I haven't been on social media as much, especially because due to everything and like curfew and capacity and everything, they just started letting us like promote again. And even that, it's like the day of. So I haven't really been on social media as much. And especially because, like I said, I just started a new job. So I've been literally not on social media very often in the last few months.
How about you, Mike?
Yeah, definitely spending more time recently. TikTok, that like Barty said, man, that algorithm's got me, bro. I'm hitting the Star Wars stuff, like all these different like tips for content creators. Though Warzone stuff's on there. Squadrons, which is like a Star Wars game that I like. Oh man, it's really easy to scroll. I watched Social Dilemma. We talked about it earlier in the summer, and so I put my 2-limit timer on there, and that's been pretty good. I know. I'll where it gets me is if I'm playing games late night and like let's say I'm dead in Warzone or something like that, and I want to be on TikTok, and it's past midnight. That time counts towards the next day, if that makes sense. So that's where it'll get me. But I definitely see some of my friends like really going, deep into social media and just scrolling, and that stuff will affect you eventually. I mean, it can affect you eventually. So just be mindful is what I would say. And yeah, these little algorithms are getting good. That's all I've noticed.
Same.
B-Funk, oh man.
Does the hub count as social media? And why are so many stepmothers not stepsisters?
This is why we love B-Funk. This is why
the real questions.
I know for a fact his ads are all over that last time I checked. Don't ask questions.
Right.
Go ahead.
I don't know where to go from here. We're gonna go to Tastemakers. Actually, we just want to know what you guys have been listening to. You guys both sent texts like we haven't been listening to new music. We don't know want to talk about new music. We don't have to talk about new music. It's just what you've been listening to recently. So Barty, because I feel like I know what you've been listening to recently since I've been watching you stream. So, Casey, I want to go to you first. What's been keeping your ears excited?
Oh, I'm about
Girls
to
in the
get
hood.
Yeah, right.
Girls in the
All that
Hood.
Meg the
is my
Sign.
shit.
Go ahead.
Theme song. I don't want to say that. Not all of it. But you guys are about to tease me again. Oh man. Something I like to do when I'm driving. Shuffle my iPod.
Yep.
Because I also find that very important because it doesn't select music that you listen to constantly like my phone does. So like I'll be driving to a gig, you know, an hour away, and I'll be like, oh, I forgot about this song, and I'll write it down in my notes, you know, because it shuffles all of the songs. And I have every song I've ever heard in my iPod. So like brings up songs that like I said, I don't think to play or I forgot about. And that's what I like to do. I mean, I very rarely listen to new music because I'm big on beats, what people are gonna dance to, something I'll be considered a banger, you know what I mean? So, you know, a lot of times, like when it comes to new music, I'll just go through all my DJ pools and I'll look at the BPMs, or I'll, you know what I mean? It really depends. Or I'll see what's on top 40. And that's, you know, what I look at when it comes to new music. For me, I love the old stuff. I love old music, like 70s, 80s.
All right. So, what was the best song that came up? The best like random song you weren't expecting on your iPod the last time you were on a drive?
It was just on my way up to Cleveland. It was Smokey Robinson, The Way You Do the Things You Do.
I know Barty's happy with that one.
See, that's not something I play like at a bar or something, but like, you know, when I'm doing this show I'm doing this weekend, it's gonna like I'm playing a lot of background music for one section of the show, and like that's added to my list.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I love that song. And I completely forgot about it.
This iPod is like your right hand man. I like it.
I'm telling you, it's my baby. I get made fun of constantly, but
No, it's cool.
No, ain't
Go
gonna
ahead,
be funny for
Barticus.
that. Sorry.
Yeah, I mean, I guess with new stuff, because I'm on the radio station and I hear all the most popular stuff, and I kind of just try to passively listen to it, like I'm ignoring the music, and then certain songs like will stand out as better than the others, especially if you're like not trying to pay attention. Then all of a sudden you realize you have the entire song memorized. I think a lot of the disco-y Dua Lipa stuff from last year is just I really like that change in direction with pop music, and I think like that influence and that sound is coming back. So disco keeps coming back, and I think you know it's just great. And Moody Man had a remix of one of her tracks too that was really good. And I going all the way back to 2019, I really liked Little John Had to Say About Taco Tuesday.
Wow.
Okay, I
gotta
like
listen to
that.
He was on the Road podcast, and he talks about it in the beginning of the episode. So you have to listen to the whole thing. But
I gotta
him
listen.
him on the Road podcast, he talks about like that song and the creation of it, and like how the first week of when it was hot like went, like him going around all the clubs and asking DJs to play it, and like if he's like, I knew if I was anyone else besides Lil Jon, none of these DJs would have played this song.
But you can tell it comes from his heart. He's like, you know, like chips and salsa. We love fajitas, and you could just, it's only 2 minutes, but you could tell he meant everything about every lyric.
He's
Bro,
like, yeah,
Suja,
man. Yeah,
Suja,
Suja was on the show.
he was so honest about campaigning that song for Lil Jon, man. It was
He
just
talked
crazy.
about that. He's like, man, I had my whole lineup of DJs playing that song.
Yeah, he sent us all these flyers and shit. It was crazy.
you know, I actually went I was in Atlantic City last year, and I was like, oh, Lil Jon's playing, or you know, whatever. And I thought it was gonna be like him and his music. I get there and it's his DJ set. And you know, I wasn't like disappointed. I was like, dope. Like I forgot he did this, and it was a blast. Like I
He's
didn't
so
expect
good. Yeah,
Yeah.
he's a great performer.
He gets it. He
For sure.
understands his lane, and he just dominates the shit out of his lane.
Yep, for sure.
Cool.
What else did I want to? So I wanted to talk about one more thing before. Oh no, did we talk to Barty for your songs that you listened? You said Dua Lipa. James, what did you listen to? Yeah, I mean, let's talk to James.
Man, I just been listening to these lo-fi hip hop instrumentals again all week. Sometimes I'll add them to my phone off these YouTube mixes, and their names I've never heard of, which I like even better. I got this one, Valentine by Kupla. Let's see, I got Purple Vision by Kupla. I didn't know I had 2 songs by Koopa. Orbit by Brilliant. Just
Brilliant's
little.
good.
Yeah. So just listening to these instrumentals makes me want to make the music, honestly. But
You read my mind. I said, when's the
yeah.
Lo-Fi Corrupt EP coming?
Oh man, I don't know. I'd have to make an alias, I think.
No, you could start sprinkling it at early at Fireproof. Happy
Okay,
hour.
sure.
Maybe.
How about
Hey,
you?
Corrupt. Sorry. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
Yeah, go ahead.
I was gonna tell you, I'm gonna give a shout out to my brother. He's a music producer and he makes a lot of hip hop instrumentals.
Okay.
I'll send you his page over, but it's called Proven, Proven for the
On
listener.
SoundCloud? Or
Yes, I don't know if he has all of it on SoundCloud yet, but he has a website too.
okay.
I'll message
Yeah,
you.
link us in the chat.
What have I been listening to? The first thing on my like songs is "Fuck Donald Trump" by YG. So
Okay.
I think I listened
Well.
to that for quite some time the other day. And then the rest of it is Star Wars. I'm currently making a list of all my favorite Star Wars tracks. Some for streaming, some just for personal use. But I have them separated into all the battle music and then all of the like just general awesome song tracks. So I know
Everybody go to DJ Access Music on Twitter and you can see Mike try to use a lightsaber this week.
Not try, bro. I figured it out finally. I've been watching the TikTok, right? There's like a big lightsaber community, like lightsaber, not only fencing and dancing. So I've been every once in a while a tutorial come through, and I'm like, I'll practice for 5 minutes. And this one tutorial came through, and it was this transition move that no one else talked about. Where like they talk about the first spin, and then all of a sudden you get to the third spin, and no one talked about the second spin, and the one guy talked about it, and I had it in 5 minutes. I'm like, all right, let me make a quick video, and now I'm mad that I didn't like that I wore this or like a stupid like gym shirt because I actually liked how it came out, but
my only question is this: when the Civil War breaks out, are you gonna get the lightsaber out or what?
No, man. I'm gonna let y'all have fun. You guys can have fun playing survival. I'll be seeing myself out.
Okay.
Yeah. It's I've watched too many World War II documentaries to know that like if shit gets to survival mode, I am out of here. Y'all have fun.
All right. Fair enough.
That being said, let's go to tips for listeners. Gonna cut that part out, guys. Let's go to tips for listeners. One secret to DJing that the audience has not heard before.
Good luck.
Yeah, they know. Yeah, good luck. We do judge these responses, not too harshly, but let's go with Casey. Casey, what is your tips for DJs?
Putting me on the spot.
It was in the notes, but yeah.
Tips for DJs.
Yeah, well, you know what? I looked through the notes right before this started, and then I answered it earlier, I think.
I'm just messing with you.
I would say, like I said, live, having fun while you're live.
Charge your iPod.
Yes.
Always have backups. No,
that's
really,
a good one. Always have backup
of everything. I've had plenty of times where, again, discognition would have to bring me a laptop charger. Hey, I'm at Bronies. Bring me a laptop charger. But no, really, live. Don't be afraid to try something new. You don't want the same stuff over and over again. So don't be afraid to, experiment, whether it's live or in your bedroom. Try to be diverse.
Think outside the box. I like it.
Barty.
All right,
Barticus. Listeners, man.
Okay. I'd be surprised if someone else didn't say it, but I'll just restate it in a different way. I think the best way to improve is to record everything and then listen back to it while you're still excited about it. Like the next day, when you're like, that was such a great set last night. Listen back to it, like go wild and party and push it to the extreme. And then when you listen back, you could be like, oh, like when these two songs were blending, I couldn't hear both of them. I should like EQ it differently or turn one up or turn one down. And even better, if your recording of it is a room recording, so you can just have like just the room, or you can have one of those Tascam 4-channel or Zoom 4-channel things where you get stereo direct from your DJ mixer and then like a mic that's in the room also, so you can actually hear like people reacting to the mix and just know if you think it's working, like actually like the sound of the room, if it's working or not, and just record everything, listen back, and then revise your approach and repeat.
We have had this tip, but it's been a long time, and I think Mike and I both agree that people don't record their mixes enough, and there's a lot of benefits that can come from it. And yeah, definitely, because you might think you're killing it in the moment, then you get home and you sound like a didgeridoo out there with distorted.
And definitely make sure it's keeping your interest, because if you're bored of it, how can you expect anyone else to get into it? But if you're entertained, if you're laughing at your own dumb jokes on the mic, if you're like, this is fun, then like it probably is.
Yeah. Mike, are you gonna let him off with that tip?
Hey man, that's one of my favorite. That's one of the first videos I made on my YouTube channel. Like that was like, what am I gonna do first? What do I want people to know? And that was the tip. So I will let it go. And Barty, because I do like how you added to review it like the day after while you're still excited about it, and look why you can still remember what you were attacking on the dance floor. Because I listened to it 2 weeks later. I don't remember. I mean, I remember that some girl fell, so I played I get knocked down, so I get up again. Like why would I go there? In the moment, you'll remember. I don't know. Whatever. I'm trying to come up with examples on the fly, bro.
Oh
right.
Shit!
At the moment, like you'll remember the night at that point, unless you're like blacked out.
I'm literally making a folder on Record Box now that says
if someone falls,
throws up, fights. Yeah, it's going down.
Oh yeah, man.
That's a good idea.
The fight breaks out. You gotta have wars. Why can't we be friends?
Yep, all the time. Or if you're like into the night and you just don't care and you throw in like DMX, right?
Mm-hmm. Wait, what?
Just let them go at it even more. Like,
oh yeah. I see the fighting music. No man, if there's
said what?
if there's a fight breaking out and I wanna like amp it up, I'm going Rough Riders anthem is going. I'm going Nuck If You Buck though. Like
or actually
amp it up.
Tear the club up.
Do you all remember when they had lists of songs that you were like forbidden from playing because like this will make people fight? You cannot play these songs under any circumstances.
In my white tee. In my white tee. Yup. Oh shit.
Like tear the club up.
Yeah, Barticus, DJ Ace told me about that. He goes, we could not play this. As soon as you turned on Tear the Club Up, people would start throwing chairs at people and all this stuff.
Tear the club up.
We could not play that.
Man, what do we want the song to be? What do we want how do we want the audience to respond? Tear the club up.
You told me to read the crowd.
Yeah, right. Can you imagine playing that song and Petey's fucking...
Petey would just literally have a heart attack right there.
What's that song? There was one, just to give you an idea of like how people at the bar don't necessarily understand our job so well. There was a waitress, is that what they're calling them now? A hostess at Dahlia. A hostess at Dahlia. And
Bottle.
Bottle girl. And she knows I love her, so I can tell this story. But Molly Cyrus, not Miley Cyrus, but the song Molly Cyrus. Yes, Casey, that is the exact reaction you should have when I mention that song, because that's the only song she ever wanted to hear me play. And so one time I think Petey and Josh had left the room and I threw it on, and I thought like it was like a niche thing that like, oh, she likes a song and maybe like two of her friends. No, but people got hyped to that shit. And
I
remember early.
Dude, I remember it was Dad's weekend in Athens. Dad's weekend, okay? And I'm at Red Brick. They're like, I want to hear that song that goes, I'm a cocaine in your ass or something. I'm like, I'm not playing that with your dad next to you. What is your problem?
My dad's like, yeah, it brings back memories.
I'm like, I'm not, no, not Dad's weekend. But yeah, that song was a banger.
That's what we need to do. We need to start compiling a list of the worst requests, like not just like it was a bad song, but like just the timing and everything. That's what we should do maybe, and then compile them and read them off on the podcast, like everyone's worst request moment.
There was my first San Diego gig ever. This drunk girl came up to me. I was at Park. It was like one of the best experiences of my life. And this girl's like, can you please play Magic Carpet Ride Aladdin? All my friends want to hear it. Like it was like an inside joke. I was like, Magic Carpet? Aladdin? Like, I don't have this with me right now. It's like, please, it would be so cool to sing.
Everyone will go nuts. I hate when people say that. I'm like, are you
Everyone will get bored 30 seconds after you start the song.
Now, had you said Steppenwolf, maybe we could talk about it.
There you go. Or like, what's the the genie song, right? Or like when they're like getting chased around the city and he's got the bread.
Oh
Man, what's that
man,
song? Prince Ali, Ali, Ali.
Alibaba. Oh man,
That's at least got like a up tempo. Like you could be like, you know, like
the trap
we're going too
remix.
far.
Just put some trap
And-
drugs behind.
Yeah,
a
literally.
whole
Put the
world with-
tipsy beat behind it, and we're good.
Dude.
A whole new world's pretty good though. You could vibe out to that.
End of the
There you
night,
go.
I could see it like if I need to get like people out and like you want that emotional like send off, I could see it working there.
Or maybe it was called "I Can Show You the World" or whatever is it.
Yeah. I was a little
That-
upset with the
that one is kind of a
title.
banger. Yeah.
Yeah.
That one you
Alright.
should have played.
Dang, I fucked
I'm
up.
actually
missed it.
thinking I'm missing those requests that like you were annoyed at back in the day just because I haven't been DJing in real life at all. It's all been streaming for me.
Mhm.
So I'm missing like you're playing a Prince song and someone comes up to you and says, "Can you play some Prince?" And you're like, I miss that moment.
Man, I like playing Prince.
You
I don't mind it.
know what I hate?
Uh-oh.
When you don't see it. I mean, there are female DJs, right? But it's not like as common as male DJs, right? I hate when I'm sitting there, I have my headphones on, I'm playing, and someone will come up to me and like tap me on the shoulder, like, "Hey, are you the DJ?" I go, "No, nope, I'm not," and then they'll go away. But like, you know how often I get that?
That's not even as bad as it gets. It's when they request a song that's already playing.
Yes.
Is what gets me. I'm like, I go like this, and they're like,
I've had that happen.
it just,
Oh my god, it's Megan!
Oh, that
my
reminds
God.
me. That reminds me of a good strategy I had. Is if I had to like go to the bathroom or something, I always had a friend to like pretend like he was DJing. He would just
Right.
like get on the headphones and like bob around, and it totally worked. And another friend I gave the job once of like, hey, anytime someone comes up, just listen to everything that you're saying, smile, and then say no to them. And so he loved so much just being the person to say no to everybody. Like people come to me and I just point to this other guy. He'd hear everything they said and be like, no.
That's fucked up a little bit.
I can
Like,
That's not good customer service.
I know we're about to wrap it up, but Carson asked, this is definitely a question for Mike because he's a nerd. Best starfighter pilot in Star Wars. Go.
Oh yeah. Karsten and I we play. He's usually here for the gaming stream. What's up, Karsten? Shout out Shadow. Yeah. Best starfighter pilot. I mean, gotta go. Anakin Skywalker off the rip is the first one that comes to mind. I mean, the story kind of depends on him being a good pilot. But then you can also make the argument for Luke as well. So I'm gonna go Anakin just because there's more story around him being a good pilot. But thanks for showing up to this stream, Carson. Appreciate it, man. We'll get back to the games next Wednesday, or actually Sunday. But yeah, we're about to wrap it up, guys. We started a new. I'm gonna get you the link here. We started a new playlist on Spotify. You search Columbus DJ Podcast, or you can use that link. Our link tree will also have it. But it's just compiling, the best songs of all Columbus artists and producers. If you are a Columbus artist or producer, let me know what you're releasing. I'll put it on the playlist. Hopefully, we can get a bunch of attention on here and elevate the Columbus artists' music that are going out. And we're also opening up to anyone who's been on the podcast. So if you're a Cleveland producer and you're like, how do I get on that playlist? Reach out, tell us why you think you'd be a good person to have on the show. You'll get on here, and then we'll put your music on here as well. We're not, gatekeeping. We just want to make sure that we're creating a playlist that works for our community and the stuff we've built here. So enough about that. Corrupt, is there anything you or Casey or Barty want to talk about before we head out?
No, I mean, I didn't know who you guys were, but I'm glad I met you guys and stay in touch. Thanks for coming on the show.
Thanks for having me. Us.
Yeah, thanks so much for having me. And yeah, Barty KUTZ on Twitch is where I am every Sunday, Tuesday, and Friday night.
Cool. Yep, I think I got yours on there, and I put Barty's stream in the chat for those of you who are watching. And then, yes, we'll be back next Thursday, 6:30 p.m., just as we are every Thursday. Corrupt, take us out, man.
Episode 35. Thank you guys, everyone, Athens, B-Funk, everybody listening. We'll see you guys next week. Be safe.
Peace out, yo.